number 4 at lock today. The rest of the New Zealand team is the same as those which won the first test a fortnight ago in Dunedin. Sean Fitzpatrick, number 2, captains his country for the 20th time today. In the South African team, there are 4 changes from the first test. That fullback, number 15, Theo van Rensburg, comes in for Andre Joubert. In the centres, number 13, Yapi Mulder becomes a test player for the first time. He's replacing Pete Muller, who's out of the tour with injury. Also in for an injured player is number 1, the huge prop forward Guy Kevill. He replaces Barley Swart. But most significantly, number 7, Francois Pienaar, is back from injury for South Africa. He goes to the open side flank, and he should be a real force, especially leading the South African team. The South African dressing room door, and he's back in Test rugby. Francois Pienaar. There's big Guy Kevill. And the South African team coming along the corridor and heading out onto a chilly Wellington afternoon. John Allen, Johan Maru, all familiar faces to us now. There's Mark Andrews. He'll be a force, of course, in the lineouts. Brendan Fenter, Jan Strauss, and a mixed reception for the South African team as they come out onto the Athletic Park and put front of a huge crowd. And here come the men in black. In the New Zealand team, and here they come. The big reception for Sean Fitzpatrick and the All Blacks. Well, there he is back in Test rugby today. Robin Book in for Ian Jones. Hasn't had much rugby in the past 12 months with that shin or calf injury. And Yapi Mulder, the Test debutant for South Africa this afternoon. A fortnight ago, he was watching the tour on television back home in Johannesburg. A big crowd in at Athletic Park this afternoon, packed with nearly 39,000 people. Hardly a seat in the house, and it's a chilly afternoon. John Hart, you're from Auckland. You love these conditions.
Well, it's a bit chilly for me, Keith, I must say, but it's not raining. The wind isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I don't think it will affect the game as much as it might have. It's still a bit of a wind. I think the team that plays with it will certainly want to get points on.
Theo van Rensburg back in the South African Test team for the first time in a year. Look at that. Windy Wellington, this city is nicknamed, but it's just a gentle breeze from the south. And all that talk about the southerly front hitting, well, it hasn't hit yet. But it is a chilly and cold afternoon. Let's be truthful and realistic and up front for you. It's about 8 degrees Celsius this afternoon in the capital. The national anthems to follow shortly. South African coach in the centre, Ian McIntosh. Yanni Engelbrecht, the manager to the right. Casey Pienaar, who played here in 1981, is in the centre at the back, the assistant coach of the Springboks this afternoon. Lots of South Africans in the crowd today. The percentage of South African supporters really increasing as the tour gets on. James Small there, and now the national anthems. Inkosi Sikeleli, Africa, and now Dishtem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know the words, don't we? The New Zealand national anthem.
Dave Jones is a bit better than Dave.
The great All Black, the manager of this year's team, in the stands. The team's coming out onto a soft athletic park. Theo van Rensburg, last test of the Wellington breeze, and the haka will be next, led by winger John Timu. So the Springboks settle into the grandstand to watch this match, which promises to be an epic. Here is Sean Fitzpatrick. Today, his 20th Test match as captain. Only Wilson Winnere has captained New Zealand in more internationals. Today's referee is from Belfast in Northern Ireland. He controlled the first Test. His 9th international today, Brian Sterling. Here's the only Wellingtonian in the game. That's referee Brian Sterling whistles to begin. And Zinzan Brook makes a great start for New Zealand with a catch and a thump parallel to the touchline. And that's just what the crowd wanted to see. And the fans, and Van Rensburg again to Brook. And Brook tests his kicking ability again. And now James Small to touch, and that's a much better effort from James Small. With me today in the commentary once again, former All Black coach John Hart.
Good start to the All Blacks with the Brook brothers starting well. Robin Brook winning the take, and then Zinzan Brook putting the pressure on the South Africans. Robin Brook, an important player for the All Blacks today. Will he be short of a run?
Sean Fitzpatrick, New Zealand's captain. The referee sorting out the gaps between the lineouts at this early stage. The second Test, live from Athletic Park, Wellington, New Zealand. Brook went high. Graham Basham out to his brothers. Two sets of brothers in the New Zealand team today. And you saw Frank Bunce there at second 5'8". Basham to Howard front from fullback early on. It's on the floor. The referee has slipped and fallen in. The ball is coming back on the New Zealand side. Let's go to Stu Wilson, former All Black captain, on the sideline.
Well, Keith, the All Blacks are one up in the series. They need to win this one to take the series alive. And so, really, they just have to look at their error rate to play simple, constructive rugby and take the opportunities they create.
New Zealand won the first Test by 22 points to 14 at Carisbrook and Dunedin a fortnight ago. You can see it's a slightly soft ground and a cool afternoon. Alama Yeremia, the only Wellingtonian, hitting hard.
Well, the referee's had a big start to the game too. Keith, he went into that first ruck and he had some sharp words to an All Black forward who he alleged took him into the ruck at the start of the game. And now he's really trying to sort this scrum out.
Johan Roux is number 9 for South Africa. There's their 22. And back to Henny LaRue. And his first touch is a kick today. John Kerwin coming back. They've got the win in the first half, although it's not strong. Henny LaRue, one of the stars of the tour so far for the South Africans.
Excellent kick from LaRue. He's a player that's got more and more confidence on this tour. And I think if he starts running today, he could be a real danger in the game.
Now, this man had a difficult time in the first test in Dunedin. It was away to a good start there with a quick dispatch to Henny LaRue. Richard Lowe at the front, then Robin Brook. Cooksey up. Richter's got it for South Africa. He's number 8. Steve Atherton's gone back. He's number 5. 22 metres line up top left. South African backs. Yapi Mulder touches in test football for the first time. There it is again, no scrum half.
Well, I find that a strange decision. The referee actually called the ball is out, and Robin Brook went to play it, and he's now penalised him. I find it a strange decision indeed.
He said, John, that you lay over the top. We'll see that happen.
Strong run here from Yapi Mulder. He did well to win the ball here. The All Blacks, the Africans are there. There's no halfback. He says here the ball is out, and I can't see what Robin Brook then did to interfere with anything. He went to get the ball.
Robin Brook, 27 years of age. His 11th test today. Back in the team for Ian Jones. Teo van Rensburg, the South African goal kicker this afternoon and the leading point scorer on tour. It's the start South Africa wanted.
Well, I guess with this win, they certainly would want to get points early. It's not a great win, but it could get up later. Be interesting to know who won the toss. The Africans certainly have the win. Be interesting to know whether they took the kick or were given the win.
Shane Howard kicks off. 6 minutes gone in the second test on a grey afternoon in Wellington. Adrian Richter is number 8. Number 7 there in the green is Francois Pienaar. Number 1, Guy Kebbell. Number 4 is Mark Andrews. Pienaar hasn't played a major match since the concussion on this ground 3.5 weeks ago. But he played the midweek game at Manawatu. Johan Roux. John Timmel, the left winger. Tackled by Alan the hooker.
Brilliant take from John Timu and a counter-attack. He showed his skill there. He took a very difficult catch and took the ball back to the Africans. The lineouts are really a problem for the referee at the moment. Both sides failing to give him the gap. And there's a lot of talk going on and sorting that out.
He's telling each of those players individually to move like a parade ground sergeant major. Basham, Jeremiah, using him for the crash ball, taking it up. Zinzan Brook, supported by his captain at the 22. Inching up, 20 metres out. Butts, Larson, Timu. He's gone 10 long tests without a try, but Timu in the left wing corner.
Excellent try. Bunce does well. Larson comes in support, holds the pass up, and Timu the try. But it came from very good forward play. They won the ruck well. Watch Bunce, he gets through a half gap, and Larson runs a good line straight, and Timu's in the clear for the try.
Having a look again on the Shell replay. Larson, Timu, that's a lovely shot, flying in at the corner. And that's done New Zealand's nervousness about this test match a whole heap of good. John Timu.
I think the All Blacks showing here that if they keep the ball on their hands, they can be really dangerous today.
Shane Howarth from Auckland, 17 points in the first test match. So Howarth misses the kick on the try by Timu. It's 5 points to 3. New Zealand lead. 11 minutes gone in the game. Let's watch for the jump this time from Robin Brook. What a beautiful leap, like a NBA basketballer. Steve Atherton at the 22-metre line into Mark Andrews. South Africa has LaRue, Yapi Mulder. Did he take it in the right line? Midfield, 10 metres out. Brendan Pinto. Deep into the in goal. Restart at the 22.
I don't think Brendan Fender would be too happy with himself there. The kick wasn't on, he kicked it deep. You've got to keep the ball in their hands. The kickoff was won well by Robin Brook, but not controlled. And South Africa won it from there and put the pressure on. Yapi Mulder showing his strength.
The two New Zealand locks, Cooksley and Robin Brook.
Kickoff's an important part of the game.
Well, they've taken a whole lot of lessons from seven-a-side rugby with passes like that along the 22-metre line. And I guess they're trying to bring a bit of speed up against the South Africans.
Well, I'm sure, Keith, that that's what they've got to do, because the South Africans are not quick reactors, are they? And I think all those sorts of things are the way to attack the South African side.
John Allen. One World of Sport bringing you this telecast today, and we're going out through Mnet in South Africa, Channel 10 in Australia, Canal Plus in France, B-Sky B in Britain, and the Star Network originating in Hong Kong and going right throughout Asia. A huge audience watching these pictures, and also through the Pacific today. We welcome all our viewers. Timu. Graham Basham. Fitzpatrick into Johan Rue. Mike Brewer. Nice pass straight to Iramia. Going a bit backwards here, but Zinzanbrook makes the telling blow. And Van Rensburg touches down.
Magnificent kick from Zinzanbrook. This game already, again, he's showing all the skills that he did in his last two tests. He really is showing the ability to take pressure and recreate.
Henny LaRue with the wind slightly behind him. Not much breeze in Wellington today. Now Robin Brook doing the same as his brother did. The big pass, clear space. Iramia. Howard. They certainly are playing the game at high clip, a high speed. A chance for New Zealand again. A big lineup There's Olo Brown. A lot been said about him in the build-up to this game. Larson. Basham. Lost forward.
Well, that will be a try that they would have has gone begging, I think. Maybe one player too many. They could have scored. The All Blacks really on fire at the moment.
John, it's good to see the All Blacks, when they're running out of options, are going to the middle of the field and linking up with the big boys to setting up another ruck.
Free kick against the New Zealand front row for twisting the scrum, according to referee Brian Sterling. He says, a steady scrum. Van Rensburg, the fullback. He played in the first test against Australia last year, severely injured his knee and had to go home, and hasn't played a test since then.
The All Blacks have called a short line out here, 5 men in.
Andrews. Roux using the breeze. Howard.
It's a good kick by Johan Roux. Had a very disappointing test in Dunedin, but he certainly started a lot more accurately here today.
His third test match.
I must say the referee does a lot of talking at line-out time. I wish we'd just get the ball in and get the game started.
Mark Andrews, who does so much of South Africa's line-out work. Like that, for instance. Roux, LaRue, Fenter, Strauss, Mulder. Chester Williams for the first time. Lovely footwork. And James Small, his mate, was with him.
Excellent tackle from Iramia to snuff it out then. Good movement from the South Africans. They did a double in midfield and created the space for Chester Williams, but Iramia in cover. A superb tackle.
A try to Timu, a penalty to Van Rensburg, 5-3. A meeting of the front row club. Richard Lowe waltzes with Johan LaRue. Now, they've been dancing partners before.
Certainly got to know each other well in Carisbrook.
Kebble against Brown on the near side.
I think Lolo Brown has started scrummaging reasonably strongly in this game. There was talk about Kebble being too much for him. I'm not so sure I'd agree at the start of this game.
So there's the big arm of Brown. Now he probably has rolled that sleeve up to stop the opposite prop, Kebble, from pulling on the sleeve, on the material. We'll watch that. Atherton, what a lovely throw, but was it straight? John Allen's gone in to get it and takes it away towards the 22. The South Africans, I feel, have settled down a bit in the last few minutes. Fenter, James Small. The tackler was Brewer. No, it was Basham. South African fans up in the stands are happy with that decision. A hindmost foot, John.
That's what he's ruled. He's ruled that they didn't come in from the hindmost foot, but I think the All Blacks were a bit upset. If you watch James Small goes down well, watch Johan Roux, the way he jumps into the action there. But definitely, I guess you've got to be right that he has not come from behind the hindmost foot to take the ball, so the penalty is probably right.
Keppel has just been spoken to by referee Sterling. Second penalty for Theo van Rensburg, and South Africa lead by 1 point after 17 minutes of play.
Well, I think the change bringing in Theo van Rensburg would very much be about goal kicking, Keith, because he's seen as a slightly better goal kicker, and so far he's on target. I don't think he's quite the attacking magician that Joubert is personally, but goal kicking is going to be an important factor in this test.
The last time these two teams met on Athletic Park, it was South Africa 24 and New Zealand 12, and we saw a goal-kicking display that day by Nas Botha worth 20 points to South Africa.
I think Shane Howarth may have thought he was inside his 22 there, but the support from Mike Brewer was solid. But the kick from Johan Roux was also very, very well placed from the ruck.
Good pass from Basham to Basham. Small, big ball to the centre. Frank Betts. Van Rensburg let it go, it's on the black side. Larson, Graham Basham into the corner. And Van Rensburg.
Well, great chasing by Frank Betts.
A scrum 5.
He's ruled that the ball has been carried back by Van Rensburg on the shell replay. We may get a look at this.
So now they test the strength of the two packs, and the New Zealand pack is still up, and they've scrubbed it hard here. It's on for the pushover. And Zinzan Brook touches down.
Well, the referee not too happy with Richard Lowe in that scrum, but the All Blacks have won the push here. They've got control. Interesting to know whether the ball came behind the last foot. I'm sure the ball came out of the scrum, and then it's been pulled back in by Zinzan Brook, and the pushover try has been given, but technically, maybe it wasn't a try. The shell replay, watch the ball, it comes out of the scrum, and then it's hooked back in, and the try is still awarded.
There was also, John, a considerable amount of green jerseys offside, so it could have gone both ways.
Well, interesting, the South Africans started that scrum with 7 men in, and the Guy Keppel, in my view, was having real trouble holding his side up.
Howarth to kick. It all came from Van Rensburg taking it back across his line, and the long discussion between the referee and the touch judge about whether he did or he didn't. The touch judge suggested that it should have been a 22. The referee overruled him. Here's Howard. Across the front. So LaRue to kick out. Richard Lowe was spoken to by the referee after the try was scored. The South Africa, after looking as though they'd settled down, wasn't carried over or not. Let's look at this shell replay. You see it bouncing towards the corner, and let's see where the hands of Van Rensburg. Well, it was carried over. Good call by referee Sterling.
Excellent call by the referee.
2 tries to the All Blacks, none to the Springboks. Van Rensburg up. Small. Williams is across.
James Small, one of the crowd's favourites today whenever he gets the ball. He's a very aggressive character, ran strongly there. 2 tries to the All Blacks. Chester Williams getting across on the other side. Both these wings work together well.
Still trying on their backs. LaRue on the double, caught by Iramia. Pienaar there. An overlap here. Williams didn't take it. Kerwin. Steve Basham, his brother. Adrian Richter. He's going to run it towards the touchline. Good hit by Fitzpatrick. Johan Rue. Howard's got this one covered. Good backing up by Timu.
Well, the South Africans are making some basic and fundamental errors, and that's the pressure of Test match rugby. Adrian Richter did exactly what Theo van Rensburg did earlier in trying to run it out from a position he should not have. We have someone down over here, one of the All Blacks.
Graham Basham.
Once again, a big tackle made by the All Blacks on Chester Williams. The ball went free, came to this fellow, and he kicked it 50 yards downfield from where the All Blacks have gained their attacking position.
Graham Basham hasn't had a test match here on Athletic Park for 4 years. He's made his mark already. Stu Forster, as a precaution, coming down out of the stands to warm up. He's the replacement scrum half. Francois Pienaar, 10 points to 6. The side has conceded 2 tries. What a thrilling passage of play that was to go back to this line-out. Well, they were pushing the South African jumpers. 24 minutes gone first half. What about the lifting on the man in the front? It was horrendous.
South Africa, I think, struggling with the pace of Test match rugby. Just not quite getting there in the numbers, making mistakes under pressure.
That was what they said about South Africa, John, when they first came back in 1992, that they couldn't cope with the speed. Tian Strauss. Henny LaRue caught by Graham Basham, who rides in piggyback. Johan Rue, Venter, Mulder, Richter, Williams. Excellent tackle, Shane Howard. The All Blacks are saying he didn't let it go.
The All Black defence has been very, very strong today. When the gaps are coming or the overlaps are there, there are very, very good defensive work from the All Blacks.
And how about that tackle before in midfield from this guy, John? The man they said could never defend. A lot of pressure put on Olo Brown during the week, including from his own coach. When the team was announced, he said he wanted the work rate of the prop forwards lifted. And so Brown working pretty hard here today. Low in the front in the New Zealand lineup, then Robin Brook, then Brown, then Cooksley. Larson, the brothers. Iramia, Kerwin. Frank Bunce. Basham. Timu. Graham Basham. It's gone on the South African side. Andrews. Rue. Flat backs. Atherton. Close to the touchline, a bit crowded. Richter. He's roaming wide today. Van Rensburg. They're 25 metres out. Touched judge is Peter Marshall from Australia.
There's a lot of play off the ball when the ball's being moved. Both sides are doing a lot of jersey pulling, and James Moore wasn't too happy there.
South African coach Ian McIntosh sitting in the stands.
South Africans winning ball, but too flat, unable to pierce the defence because they're so flat and not able to clear space.
That's the 22-metre line. Tremendous cheering for the home team from the capacity crowd. They went through and disrupted the jumper. Mark Andrews and Steve Atherton, 4 and 5. The main jumpers for South Africa. Short line out. Hooked down by Cooksley. Brook away to Brook. The first time two sets of brothers have played in a New Zealand team since 1961. There's one of the other brothers.
Well played, Stephen Basher. He's done well. He has read the fact that the South Africans were flat and he's kicked in behind. Robin Brook, meanwhile, has taken a heavy knock in that tackle. Zinzan Brook has taken a heavy knock in that tackle in the midfield.
He's going to take a moment to recover here, Zinzan Brook. Stu Wilson's on the sideline. How are you enjoying it, Stu? It's a tough struggle.
Well, the All Blacks are more accurate in what they're doing today, particularly in the tactical kicking department. I'll back what John Hart has just said. Stephen Bishop and Graham Bishop, they're good doing the kicking. They know exactly what to do. Have a look at this big hit here. I don't think Zinni should have really done the dummy pass in that situation. He had Alama Uramir on the outside, took a knock. We just seem to be a little bit more organised today, John.
Oh, far more, a lot more accurate, a lot more intense, and I think the side are playing very well at the moment. They've just got to keep the pressure on.
Half an hour gone in the second test match on One World of Sport from Athletic Park in Wellington. Very good kick by Henny LaRue.
I think the interesting thing in the Jamie Joseph warming up with Zinzan taking that knock. The interesting thing in the kicking tactics is that I think the Africans are sadly lacking a tactical judgment of the short kick when they're winning ball and putting it in behind the All Blacks. They're trying to run it and are not being successful.
They stand very flat in their backline formation, John, don't they? Which means they must do a lot more kicking.
I agree, and that's what I think they're going to have to do to turn the All Black backline.
Robin Brook pulling that one in, and now the drive is on. Attack kick, well taken by Zinzan Brook. Johan LaRue had him by the jersey before he took the return pass, and the referee has caught that. So that was seen by referee Sterling.
Well refereed here.
This is Walter Little, the reserve back for the New Zealand team.
Both the Bishop boys, I think, are really putting in top performances at the moment. They're controlling the game very well.
Short line out, Richard Lowe taking it forward.
Yeah, I don't think that was the greatest body position that Richard Lowe's taken up in his life. Might have been a little bit high, should have gone a bit lower. It's a perfect spot just to the left of the upright.
Certainly exposing the Africans, but aren't they, when they are taking the game to them, the Africans are really struggling in the middle of the rucks and mauls.
Big success as a captain last year. Francois Pienaar captained Transvaal to 4 different trophy wins. There's the territory. South Africa have been on attack slightly more. That's against Olo Brown for being incorrectly bound.
That's the interesting statistic at the moment, that the New Zealand team has got the possession domination.
Olo Brown, 105 kilograms, his 15th test match this afternoon, made his debut on this ground against Ireland in 1992.
Started strongly today, Keith, hasn't he? He's done very well in the line-out and around the field.
Robin Brook, yes, he has. Blair Larson. A big tap. Stephen Basham goes through. Adrian Richter, Henny LaRue, Brendan Fenter, Yapi Mulder, Van Rensburg up. It hit Kerwin on the heel. Halfway line.
There's no quarter being asked and there's none being given. It's a very hard battle up front.
Well, Zinzan Brook will have to leave the field, but for blood. Here he is right here in the foreground. Larson's holding his hand. He had that injured in training. And he has a gash behind his ear on the other side of his face. There's his brother having a chat with him. Jamie Joseph, I think he's going to have to come down and warm up. Yes, he's off to the blood bin. Jamie Joseph will come into the test match. Heading towards half time. We've got about 5 minutes to play. 2 tries ahead of 2 penalties at the moment. Adrian Richter. Jan Strauss. Number 3 is Johan LaRue. Mark Andrews. Pienaar and Brewer, the 2 number 7s. And kicked forward of Allen's boot to the All Black backs. Robin Brook. Olo Brown, that gets her off in the crowd. They've been reading the papers, hearing about the pressure that's been put on him. Itamia. Basham. Cooksley. So Jamie Joseph, number 21, comes onto the field. Zinzan Brook has been in the wars and is getting it seen to.
The Africans are missing a lot of tackles today. It's a big difference between the 2 teams. One team's making them, one's not.
Small chasing through on Timu.
Johan Rue is using that kick to good effect, Keith, isn't he? He's putting it high and he's getting it near the touchline. A bit of rain starting to run into us at the moment.
Two tries, leads, 2 penalties. 4 minutes to go till half time at Athletic Park. Joseph is back off the field. Well, Andrews felt he was charged there. We had that dummy pass and the dummy kick by Zinzan Brook. Stephen Basham to Alama Itamia. Itamia again. Steve Basham. Richard Lowe, halfway line. Quick tap taken. Steve Basham. Robin Brook. Richter the tackler.
That's good play. Excellent play by the All Blacks. Good support play. That was one of the areas which Laurie Mains wanted the team to improve on today.
Bishop does it well here. He gets into space. He actually makes a step and then turns to look for the support. Robin Brook goes on well, goes to the ground. The Brooks are taken out, but the mistake is made at the back of the ruck. He's a rule that has been knocked on earlier.
That's one area the All Blacks have to be very cautious of, is not getting isolated when they are with the ball in hand, because the South Africans will wrap them up and get the ball.
Before this game today, the weather forecasters were picking that the game could be played in driving southerly wind, but it hasn't. Well, Larson, right near the line. Atherton puts it down. Scrum 5, another chance for another pushover.
The All Blacks are really putting the pressure on. An African scrum under a bit of pressure. Johan Roux caught in behind by the ball dropped and Bishop's through. Taken on by Zinzambrook. Blair Larson. Right on half-time. This is a vital scrum for the All Blacks.
It's a vital scrum for the outcome of the game. Look at that push forward by New Zealand.
Keith, I think you'll see at this scrum, Adrian Richter, he will stay on at the number 8 position. I don't think he'll drop off.
Let's look at the back of Bolo Brown. Yep, you can have a cup of tea off the back there. He's holding well today. There's the Auckland prop forward. The South Africans are really struggling here.
I think he could have let the play go on a little bit longer than that. You know, the All Black scrum was on the roll.
John Kerwin taking a position right out the touchline. That could have been that old move from the 70s where they kick it right across the field. Well, look at that. The confidence Sean Fitzpatrick has shown in his back here. He has the penalty, but he can take the choice of a kick or a scrum. And they're saying, well, scrum it, sir.
Well, this is a big call on half-time. Guy Kebble's in trouble. No doubt about it. Still a big call. Well, they have taken a big decision here because this was 3 points for the taking right on half-time, and now he has penalised Olo Brown for going in the scrum and penalised for not pushing straight, and the scrum and the penalty has now gone to South Africa.
Well, they cleared a touch at Skype to Zinzambrook at midfield. He's trying for a drop kick. Just between the posts. He's capable of anything, this guy. I think he was ticking and counting the seconds, ticking away to half-time and thought, well, why not?
That certainly was on, but I think the All Blacks may regret not taking the penalty kick and goal just earlier.
Here's the man who made the decision. Was he right or wrong? I guess we'll see as the rest of the game plays itself out. Zinzambrook again. And again, the ball is shadowed to touch by Oteo van Rensburg.
Excellent pressure from the All Blacks.
There's very little time left. Well, all the lip-reading specialists all over the world will be reading that, but it's not enough time. Half-time is called by referee Brian Sterling. 10 points to 6. New Zealand lead. Stay with us. Athletic Park in Wellington, New Zealand is settling down for the beginning of the second half of the second test between New Zealand and South Africa. Shane Howarth begins the second half. 10 points to 6 New Zealand lead, having scored tries by John Timu and Zinzambrook. South Africa have 2 penalties, and rain is falling in Wellington in the half-time break. South Africa have this half to save their tour. Some jersey pulling back at the maul there. Richter, nicely picked up by Henny LaRue. What is the referee saying? Penalty kick maybe against the New Zealand captain for jersey pulling. No, offside.
I think he's penalised one of the forwards here, maybe Olo Brown, for picking up the ball in what he says an offside position.
6 penalties to 5 penalties plus 2 free kicks. The rain is quite strong now. This could be the start of the southerly front they said was going to howl in. It's very cold in Wellington today, less than 10 degrees. And there is the look south, and it's a lot bleaker than we could see directly into Cook Strait at the start of the game. That's the Millard stand. And the wind howls up that valley when it comes in from the south, and believe me, this can be quite a test for anyone playing rugby. And therefore, kicking into the wind, as Van Rensburg will do here, will be a real thump, even though he's only 25 metres out. That's the size of the problem for Teo van Rensburg. Now let's see what New Zealand does with the 22s. They're banging it. They're playing those quick 22s. That's only the second of the game. Richter. What a game Zinzan Brook is having today. Fenter. Mulder, the flat kick across the grass tops. It's pretty skinny. Howth comes outside the 22 to bomb it hard. Richter's having a good game. Not such a good pass. And Iramir on Pino. A strong charge. A fair charge, though, we hear the referee saying.
Well, I think you're seeing the size of the wind now, and the wind's up, and Howard read that well.
That's that area, John, we were talking about in the first half. It's the decision time when they're back on defence. That's the second time that Adrian Richter looked very, very slow in making the decision whether to kick or run.
The rain and wind driving in at the backs of the New Zealand team. There's the high bomb for Van Rensburg. What a lovely take by the courageous little guy back there. Henny LaRue. Shane Howard near halfway. Good catch. Takes it quickly. Looks like both teams are playing the game inside the lines, if you like. Not prepared to put it out. Let's watch Timu. Tian Strauss is back. The two winners now, Small and Williams. Zinzan Brook makes the hit, and what a good one it was. He clean took the heels of Williams off the ground. Johan LaRue. That was another tackle by Zinzan Brook.
Sean Fitzpatrick is claiming he's been bitten by a South African. He's not happy at all.
He's claiming he's been bitten. I didn't hear that. Well, about the same part of the field against Ireland. He had his teeth knocked out, remember?
Now someone's got a flop in over the top.
Look at that over on the left-hand side of the field.
It's Mr. LaRue. You'll find here.
The place to look at is the left-hand side of this picture. Look at Johan LaRue. That is a disgrace. And Fitzpatrick has every right to be indignant.
Well, I'm sure you'll see more of that after the game. I'm sure that one will be brought up, because if it was a bite, it was an act that doesn't deserve to stay on the football field.
Well, I think that the viewers at home have seen that. The people here in the stands do not know what that was all about.
This is the time, though, when Sean Fitzpatrick has just got to take that situation, let the referees and the administration sort it out, and get in and start focusing on the game to win in the test.
Here's LaRue, the man in question. Henny LaRue. Gian Strauss. LaRue. Fento. Mulder. Fitzpatrick trying to rip the ball from him. A good position here for South Africa. John Allen. Richard Lowe takes him down. Fender, strong attack here by South Africa. They're only 5 metres out, and Bassett kicks it away.
Well, South Africa, to me, just don't have the variety. They are too flat on attack. They've got nowhere to go when they won ball 15 yards out from the line. Fenter in it twice, just not knowing what to do. I really think the Africans are struggling. And LaRue has copped it. Whatever he said or has done, he's been penalised and marched, and his team aren't happy with him.
There's the manager, Yanni Engelbrecht, one of the great South African players. Pienaar has been spoken to by the referee.
He's asked the All Blacks not to get involved in sledging. I thought that was a cricket term.
It was a cricket term. It's crept its way into rugby union. And I think that number 3, Johan LaRue, is in very big trouble.
I don't think you'll see him in many more games on this tour.
And it'll be a lot better place if that happens. 10 points to 6 in New Zealand lead. And there's going to be a shot at goal for New Zealand. And let's look back at the distance for Shane Howe. It's about 40 metres out, and the wind is behind him.
Pienaar getting frustrated. His team are making mistakes under pressure.
John, when South Africa were hammering away at the New Zealand goal line, some of these tackles that the All Blacks are putting off, even the big boys like Mark Cooksleep taking guys out, Zinzanbrook outstanding in the tackle department today. And really that's the best that South Africa can throw at the All Blacks, and they can take it away from that. Then really they haven't got a lot in their armoury, have they?
I agree. They really are struggling to break the line. The All Black defence has been outstanding, and you picked it right. Zinzanbrook has been awesome.
Minutes of play, second half. It's a 7-point gap.
Well, the All Blacks needed that penalty without a doubt. I think the one just before half-time where they elected to go for the scrum might have been a very, very crucial decision.
Chester Williams. 22-metre line. Gian Strauss. Mike Brewer tips him over. Again on the 22. Johan Roux finds Francois Pina. Henny LaRue. Richter, a good short pass. Well blocked by Bunce, number 13. A line up to the left. Fenta! And I think the try went begging there. Mulder and Basham. Yapi Mulder.
Well, we've heard question marks about Stephen Basham's defence. I'd suggest if you go back and back play, it was he who made a very big tackle on the South Africans that spilled the ball and caused them to get out.
To 6 to New Zealand. The South Africans are still within striking distance. A 7-pointer, of course, would tie the game up. Well, that's an interesting call. Man went over the top there, according to referee Sterling.
Brendan Penta has had words with the referee on 2 occasions now, complaining that the All Black backs are offside at ruck time, but I'd suggest that he has a look at his formation. That's the problem for the Springboks.
Keith, did you count how many South African heads were down, but just when watching that kick up? I mean, half the team weren't even looking.
Yeah, they're down, but not out, I suppose, but they certainly are down, demoralised at the moment. And yet the score is such that they're close enough to be right in it if they could score from here. And here they go, chance again. Fenta. Johan LaRue, it's 15 metres out. Johan Roux, a big lineup, the big hit from Frank Bunce. That was Bunce on Mulder. Another big stop. And Mark Andrews been spoken to by the referee and heads back now.
An excellent tackle by Frank Bunce there. He really hit the midfield, but honestly, the play of the South African backs, they had to miss a man. You could see Bunce coming up, and they threw it straight to the player that Bunce had in his sights.
John, they had plenty of men out there. Just quick hands would have got it through.
I don't think they're using the miss effectively when they are so flat, and that's what they're going to have to do.
Cooksley went high. The kick went high. Williams is going to jump high. Chester Williams ran into Robin Brook. Ruck ball for South Africa. LaRue, Fenta, LaRue on the loop. And Frank Bunce hooked it back with his hand.
I think Frank was thinking he might not get caught, but unfortunately the referee looked over the ruck and caught him.
Tap kick. Atherton. Not 10 metres back, New Zealand. Richard Lowe's gone back to market.
Well, the Africans seem to me to be just lacking in ideas at the moment. Look, their heads are down, they're struggling. It's a good kick to touch. But just watching when they took that tap kick, they certainly weren't going for the 10 yards. They had nothing on at all. The pace has got them. Look at them going towards this line out. There's not a lot of spring in the step.
Andrews high. Referee was there to see if it was lifting, but he didn't call it. I think that they're angry because it was coming on the green side, and he's awarded the scrum to the green team.
Not sure Ian McIntosh was too happy with the referee there.
15 minutes gone, second half. New Zealand 13, South Africa 6. I think it's important here, John, that if there's going to be trouble after the conclusion of this game, when everybody has a look at the videotapes, it's important that New Zealand keep their heads here. There's the high bomb. Not a good one, though. Iramia. Basham. Van Rensburg at halfway. The rain has stopped now. He took the tackle. I think Williams was pretty clear, although there were men ahead of him on the left. The South Africans are mauling this one. Andrews, number 4. Richard Lowe in there with Atherton. Off the floor nicely. Tian Strauss, Mulder, Richter, Small. Richter. Van Rensburg. Johan Roux. Just tipped out over the sideline.
I think the crowd were cheering then that Van Rensburg should have been penalised for not letting the ball go, but he got to his feet. I'm sure he got to his feet. Small does well, so does Richter backing up. And it's here Van Rensburg. He wasn't held in the tackle. He's thrown the ball off the ground, and Johan Roux has had a crack, but Johan Roux has not got through. Better play, however, from South Africa.
Number 9 to the left was one pace away from a try. That will be a South African scrum here. Now here's a chance for them to show what they're like, scrummaging on attack. The battle-scarred face of Zinzanbroek. Penalty kick for kicking through the scrum?
No, I think he penalised them for coming up in the front of a scrum. I can't believe that decision. If it would have been real, I think Basham did kick at the ball, and he's not allowed to do that. But he didn't penalise that. He said, coming up at the scrum. Just watching here. See, he said that he's watched the All Blacks coming up. So he's gone back. He didn't signal when Basham went through, and he signals, you came up. Well, I don't know what they're expected to do.
Here's the angle. Remember, the previous kick by Van Rensburg curled away outside the left-hand upright.
Vital kick in the context of this rugby match.
There's the difficulty of kicking on Athletic Park. That one just to the right. A vital miss by Theo Van Rensburg. New Zealand stay with this policy of kicking quickly. Richter is back. He's backed up by Van Rensburg. Frank Bunce, another one of those big all-enveloping hits. Larson, Basham, Steve Basham, Brewer. A charge down by Kebble. It'll be hard to kick the ball around him. So South African hands were around that ball, according to the ref, and Sean Fitzpatrick marches a wee bit closer to the line, to the
vital yard or two. I think it's been brought back by the referee. Big differences today in the tackle, aren't there? I mean, the South Africans trying to run the ball out without numbers and are taking the tackle.
Was there green arms around this thing? Is that what he's talking about?
That's what he said, although it looks to be a lot of black arms.
Oh, no, there's one there.
There's one coming in.
Yeah.
But I think the key factor just on that last replay, look at the possession, it's 50-50. But once again, the Africans tried to run it out, and Bunce made a very big tackle. And the Africans don't have enough support to take on an All Black side that's tackling so well. Territory slightly in favour of South Africa.
Francois Pienaar knows this is a vital kick. At the three-quarter mark in the game, Shane Howard trying to kick New Zealand out past the 7-point cushion. So South Africa are still within striking distance. That's a feeble kick by Van Rensburg. And another drop kick attempt by Zinzanbroek. I don't believe it. We're seeing all sorts of crazy kicks. Richter off the side of his boot. Howard coming up short. Zinzanbroek twice drop kicking for goal.
Well, I just hope the All Blacks are aware that if the score reads only 13-6, and what I've seen with South Africa in about the last 10 minutes, they are capable of scoring tries, as we saw with Johan Roux nearly going close, so we really do need to capitalise on these scoring opportunities.
James Small. Right across the park. It's clear vision now, no rain. It's dried up. It's as bright as it's been all afternoon in terms of the weather. James Small.
And if anything, the wind has absolutely dropped, and we have the touch judge in here.
The touch judge is Wayne Erickson from Australia, talking to Brian Sterling.
So this is against the All Black number 4, who is penalising or is reprimanding for an elbow jolt.
So there's Brian Sterling talking to the players. He wants a penalty way back. The referee said you have a penalty right back where the line
way
was.
back.
Boy, that's a long way back.
And he's taken the penalty back, and Pienaar has shown pretty good captaincy, I'd say, because he said, if we kick it to touch, we will at least get the throw in, which we didn't have in the other place. That's as long as it finds touch, which it doesn't.
Zinzanbroek to Johan Roux. So there's the difference there, because now it'll be New Zealand's throw in.
Ian McIntosh will be disappointed with that punt to touch. It was a poor kick. They made no advantage from taking that penalty.
So the pride of the Springboks is on the line this afternoon. If they drop this game in the 3-test series, it's New Zealand 2 up and unbeatable. 13-6 inside the last quarter. Venter on Bunce. Ieremia.
This is where I'd like to see Kerwin given the ball and given a chance.
Howard up. Kerwin. Larson. Referees awarded a penalty. Back upfield. Offside play. No advantage. Penalty black. Let's look at this. You read it well, John.
Well, I think there is room up the blind side with Kerwin, and unfortunately there, Larson can't keep control. Kerwin did very well to keep his feet. He did excellently to slip it inside to Larson. That's what you want from a blindside flanker. You want the support, but you've got to have the catch as well. But here's a very kickable penalty for Shane Howard, and that'll take the All Blacks out to a 10-point lead.
14 minutes left in the Test match. So once again, Howard trying to kick New Zealand out into a safer situation. Just one successful kick today for Shane Howard. 13 points to 6 it stands. Kemmel number 1.
Well, actually, an aimless kick from Johan Roux has ended up giving an advantage because Shane Howard has made a mistake and not able to capitalise on the ability to clear. South Africa have to score.
Allen pitches it towards Atherton. Johan Roux. Richter, who's done a lot of running for the South Africans today. LaRue, claimed by Larson. Referee's got his hand out. Steve Basham. Good clearance to touch. Well, we'll have to have a look at the Shell replay on that one.
Well, I think he's claiming that he stepped back into the 22.
Wayne Erickson, the touch judge.
To be honest, the referee judged that it was okay. Let's have a look. Hard to see. You couldn't actually see the ball. But it certainly didn't kick it from in front of the 22.
Wayne Erickson is the touch judge from Australia. Johan Roux. South Africa are still within striking distance of scoring a try. If the goal was to go over, it would be 13-all. Roux, Andrews, running into Zinzanbrook. Penta, Williams, Van Rensburg, Small, Timu and Bunce. Chester Williams, Bunce again. 5 minutes to go.
Excellent All Black defence. Splendid defence.
So the referee is talking to touch Peter Marshall.
I think it sounds as though it might be. It could be a penalty in front, close to front of the post. He's penalising Stephen Bassett for a late tackle. Right out in front of the post.
So where is he going to position this one?
Boy, that's a big call by the touch judge. And we will have to have a look if we can catch it in the show replay if we get one. But honestly, that is a big call.
Well, it could be significant. Let's look at this watch here from... That's the late tackle there. Well, that is a hairline decision. Marginally late, but didn't do any damage to the game, didn't it? It didn't stop the player carrying on. The ball was in play. It's a big decision. And so the Australian touch judges coming into the game in the last couple of moments. We hope you're enjoying it at Channel 10 in Australia. That's a hell of a contest. South Africans can now get the lead if they score a try. 10 minutes left in the game. $13 points to 9. 2 tries and a penalty to 3 penalties. An awkward bouncing ball. Well done, Graham Basham. Stephen Basham. Yeremia. I think the South Africans could get this one off him, although the good weight's gone in, and it's there. Roux. Henny LaRue. Van Rensburg. Williams. Yappie Mulder. Another tackle by Bunce. Williams. Johan LaRue. 15 metres out. For South Africa. Mulder. Small. Johan Roux. Van Rensburg. Strauss. Drop out 22. Tiaan Strauss has sportingly, I think, accepted the decision. Let's look at the shell replay.
Good call here. Van Rensburg decides to put it behind, but I think it's Basham, I think, who's taken the dive, and it was a Timo who's gone back and dived in. Just got it. Fair try, fairly awarded. Tiaan Strauss just a little late. That may be a vital thing for South Africa. They had to score. They nearly did. Yeremia is down.
Fitzpatrick down 2.
The attack on the left side then, I thought they had a chance to clear it, but they did not finish it off. But once again, some magnificent All Black defence. And it looks like, I'm sorry, it was Frank Bunce, who looks as though he's leaving the field, and Walter Little.
John, I think South Africa are finishing a lot better in this half than the All Blacks, maybe the training and touring through this country, but they're still looking reasonably fresh. You know, their heads are now up. There's a bit of urgency about their play.
Out to Steve Basham.
Excellent kick from Stephen Basham. The clearance he's got from his brother today has been superb all game. He's got off the deck quickly, and he managed to now punish them. And Graham Basham really showing his skill here today, and it's a very vital part of this game of keeping it in front of the All Black pack.
Frank Bunce to the sideline. His 20th Test match in a row ends with him leaving the field. But what a terrific number of stops. And Walter Little is on, his North Harbour teammate, for his 25th Test appearance. Basham. Steve Basham. Allen.
Good kick from Stephen Basham. Put the pressure on, and then the South Africans were scrambling in defence. And this is where the All Blacks must stay now and play the game. They really need another penalty, another try, and that would be the game, but they must stay down in this territory.
Dramatic Test rugby at its best, live on One World of Sport. Graham Basham again, a superb pickup. It was an outside arm jump though. The South African chances in the Test series teetering on the knife edge at the moment. What have they planned here? 70 yards out, they're going to rumble. Andrews, Atherton, Pienaar. It didn't have a great sharp edge to it, that attack. There's the short pop kick from LaRue. Shane Howard, Alama Iramia, Fitzpatrick, Larson, Graham Basham, the dive pass, Bruin, Steve Basham, Graham Basham backs in. That's the 22 there. And Timu on the right wing, dancing towards the corner, backed up by Richard Lowe. Robin Brooke, Chester Williams. A knock on.
Well, it's been played at a hectic pace. Timu showed some of his brilliant attacking skills then. He read it well. He went back on the blind side. The South Africans are just holding on. 4 minutes remaining. Going to be very difficult for them here.
Theo van Rensburg is down and in considerable pain. 4 minutes left to play in the game. Determination in the backs that there should be no mistakes, no more chances. Andre Joubert, you see him warming up in the back, wanting to come in for the last few minutes of the game, and he is. Van Rensburg is off, and that's tragic for him. He had the knee injury in Australia last year that ruled him out of Test rugby until today. Joubert back. So 4 minutes left. That's all, and New Zealand can take the series. LaRue bangs it hard.
Certainly it's been quite a wind change here today, Keith, hasn't there? Because there's just no advantage now. Only very minimal. LaRue showed then just what the wind is, because he kicked it powerfully for 40 metres, supposedly into it.
Sean Fitzpatrick having a little towel there, a bit like a lawn bowler, wipes the ball before he throws it in. Hooked nicely down by Mark Cooksley. Zinzan Brook at the back there, he's done superbly well today. And this is going to occupy time. According to us, 2 3/4 minutes left.
John Kirwan on the chase.
Joubert, the brilliant attacker. They've got to do it. They've got to chance their arm. John Strauss, LaRue, Andrews. Knock on, New Zealand's chance here.
No, he's awarded to get the scrum to South Africa that the All Blacks knocked on. South Africa, I don't know if they've got the ability to have a long-range attack, personally. Just have a look at the formation of their backs. They're very flat.
And this is all occupying time. Richter has it under his feet. This is occupying time too. Richter drives it off. Makes it to the 22. Roux, Strauss. Here they go again. The chase is for James Small, but Howard's got it covered magnificently.
to take the kick from Henny LaRue. I don't think the Africans have got in him. I think the All Blacks may finish strong.
Desperate situation, desperate days for the Springboks now. Andrews gets this one. LaRue, Mulder, Venter, Joubert. Chester Williams, but it's well covered by men in black. Roux, here's a chance. Venter, Mulder, Richter, Mulder. Penalty, no. It's over, and the series belongs to New Zealand. What a dramatic moment.
Stay on the grass,
Highly emotional moments. It's the 200th victory the All Blacks have ever scored. And it's a series win over South Africa.
Thank you, South Africa.
Disappointed South Africans.
Come back soon.
Delighted New Zealanders. Arms draped around each other. The crowd have rushed the field. And tremendously exciting scenes for All Black Rugby.
Proceed to the maternity unit of the hospital.
13 points to 9. Disappointment for South Africans. They've come a long way, and that was a tough test. But 2 tries to 0 really says which team should win. And 13 to 9, although it was close, I think most people in the end would say 2 tries to the All Blacks meant they deserved to win. A tough game. I think we'll hear echoes about that incident with Johan LaRue far beyond this field. The rain coming in from the south had stayed away most of the day. It's very cold in Wellington at the moment, but not in the hearts of these Kiwis. Robin Brooke there can hardly get off the pitch. Happy New Zealanders, flag waving and heading for the exits. There'll be celebrations all over the country tonight after this score. 22 to 14 it was in the first test. 13 to 9 to New Zealand in the second. We hope you've enjoyed it on MNet in South Africa. Perhaps you won't have enjoyed it as much as some other viewers around the world. Channel 10 in Australia, thanks for being with us. Canal Plus in France, B-Sky B in Britain, Star in Hong Kong, and our many friends throughout the Pacific. We're getting ready for some interviews under the stand, but this is a very happy athletic park after a very tough and grim test match. 13 points to 9, it was 10 to 6 at half-time to New Zealand. Let's go to Sean Fitzpatrick and Stu Wilson.
Well, Sean Fitzpatrick, firstly, congratulations on winning the Steinlager series. You'll be absolutely delighted with that performance today.
Fantastic. The pride within the team came through in the end. It was fantastic. It was a thing that we wanted badly. We didn't want to go to Auckland 1-1. We wanted to have a good week in Auckland, and the team showed a lot of pride. And you know, I think a lot of the past All Blacks too. We got Murray Mixted in last night to talk about 1981 when they played the Springboks here, and it was quite moving and it was quite appropriate. He told us what the passion of the Springboks would be like, and I can definitely agree. It was a fearsome game.
Did Murray last night mention about what a team should do on Athletic Park, considering the conditions?
No, we didn't get him in to speak about that. He just mainly spoke about what the South Africans would be feeling, how they steamrolled the All Blacks in 81, how they were men possessed, and we had to combat that and take the game to them.
They certainly did today. I mean, I thought it was a very passionate, very tense game today.
It was good. It was an enjoyable game to play, and they came back right to the end. I can assure you, France, second test is in the back of my mind. But the guys dug it in. It was a great effort and an enjoyable one. The guys deserve it.
Well, only one try down in Dunedin, 2 tries in the first half. That was pleasing.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to score tries, and it's great to see the backs putting their words into action, which is great.
I'm sure you'll be happy with. I don't think I've ever seen a complete defensive screen shut down a side for 80 minutes.
I think that just showed the urgency within the camp, and we wanted to win, obviously, probably more desperately than they did. And, I think it showed, and all credit to the Springboks, so they stuck at it. And as I said, the game wasn't over till the last minute.
Well, on behalf of the 1981 All Black side that were beaten by South Africa on that day, thank you for breaking the jinx.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. Yeah, and thanks once again to everyone for the support we've had. It's been fantastic down here. The crowd down there today was just fantastic.
Sean Fitzpatrick, enjoy tonight.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jay.
Sean Fitzpatrick, blood coming out from behind his ear at Athletic Park, and a happy captain too. The South Africans have gone to the dressing room, and we understand they have shut the door. They are not available to speak to us at the present. So that's it from Athletic Park in Wellington for the moment. New Zealand 13, South Africa 9. But the significance of this is that it's given New Zealand the series. And the jinx of Athletic Park, if you've liked, because we've lost vital matches here to the South Africans in the past, and the All Blacks lost to the Lions here last year. That's been turned aside today. New Zealand 2 tries to 0, 13-9, and they take the series over the South Africans. There'll be another test in Auckland in a fortnight, but New Zealand can't be beaten.